السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري ويشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا. We have been studying the section Furqan of the Qur'an for a while. For some weeks ago, we started to study. So the verses were talking about the opponents of the Prophet, asking him to have some sort of extraordinary superman activities or actions. For example, here we saw they were surprised that the Prophet was just an ordinary man walks about in the marketplace and eats food, and why the angels don't show up with him, and expecting the angels to show up. And then why he doesn't have a garden freely given to him. So they were just accusing him. No, he has nothing special. So, and then Quran saying, look what they are telling us. Oh, doesn't make sense, because they are expecting the Prophet to have these extraordinary qualities, because they think that the message he delivers is from the Prophet himself. That's why they are expecting him to be in a superhuman being position of a superhuman being. And also, if it was from God, then God would make it clear that it is from me by sending, for example, an angel next to him and favoring the Prophet as different from other beings, so that he deserved to be selected. But this man is an ordinary man, and of course he is an honest man. They cannot speak against his honesty. So now we came to this verse. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Tebârakellezî in şâ'e ceale leke hayran min dâlike cennetin tecrî min tahtihil enhâr ve yec'al leke kusura. Blessed is the one who may grant you something even better than that, if he so wishes, if God so wishes. Gardens through which rivers flow. He may even grant you palaces. Now, this is the response from God. He may grant you something even better than this, better than what they are asking you to show it or to have it. So if your creator wishes in this way, but he doesn't, and he says, I can give you even gardens, not only in this world, but through which rivers flow, not only the gardens, they are expecting you to have it, and he may even grant you palaces. But apparently, he doesn't wish. So God doesn't choose this way. Now, I wonder, for example, I think the other people also wonder in the same way. since people are asking him to show some sort of extraordinary uh, qualities or appearances in the life of the prophet, so that they will be convinced. We discussed about this point last week, that otherwise they would be bound to follow and accept the message without really looking for it, searching for the truth, reality. That is why God doesn't respond to their demands, but let them alone with the text, with the message itself. So they can look at the message and understand whether it is truth or not, and accordingly decide to follow or not. But if he had answered to their desires, demands, then without being convinced in the content of the message, they will be bound to accept it. We said last week that is not the way of believing in the content of the message, but hypocritically accepting the message, although not being convinced about the content of the message. That is extremely important. Last week we discussed this, as far as I remember. That is very important because now we are reading the Quran. Now we are reading the narrations of their accusations in the Quran without hiding it. They asked this and this, but we didn't give it. Now, in this position that we are in now, in our position now, we have to think, why does not God respond their demand and do it? Do you think he cannot do it? We said there are several reasons. Last week we touched upon the most important one, which is otherwise these people will not believe in the content of the message, but they will be obliged to accept the message because of the, I mean, in quote unquote, uh, super appearance of the prophet himself. We also talked about that when the obstinate people challenge God, that they, if you can do it then. God says, no, because if I do it, if you challenge me, I will destroy you. But I can respond to those people only when they ask me that they need. We talked about it. They need, but they cannot obtain it, and say that, please, God, we believe, we are convinced that everything is in your hand. We are in a desperate position now. Please help us. Then God responds to their prayer because they are acknowledging God. Whereas the deniers are not acknowledging God's authority, but objecting, rejecting God's creatorship. So God says, if I respond to you because because of your objections, I will definitely destroy you. We gave the example, for example, if somebody says to a king, come on, if you can't do anything, give me something. For example, give me a free land somewhere if you can do it. The king says, yes, I can do it, and you will be very sorry to ask this, and he will order him to be killed. That's it. Rather than, Of course, then I obey your order and I will give you the palace you wanted. For example, it is not befitting the situation of the king. That is the example we understand. If someone challenges you, you say, I'll show you who I am. Exactly. So if God is saying, I will show you who I am exactly when I take you to my presence in the next creation, and I will show you. Now, okay, but God says if He wishes, He can grant you palaces much better than what they are asking you to have it here or to be given by me to here. Why God chooses in this way? That is why I listed my questions here. Question one, would you choose a life of eternal joy, perfect satisfaction, or one with temporary pleasures in this world? The, the question continues. Consult your heart. What does it yearn for? Immediately you are given a best banquet now, or okay, if you trust me, I will give you whatever you need permanently, but I have to see you that you are loyal to me in your asking me to give something if you need it. So acknowledge me and ask me to give when you need it. Within the conditions of this world, I won't give you because what you need is different. Now, what do you think? What we really is different? Any? What we really is different than just temporary satisfaction here. I think we need permanent, perfect satisfaction eternally. Why does God not give it to us then here? Because this world is not the place where something can be permanently and perfectly given to us. Permanently. The nature of this creation is transient. It has to be in this way because we are being trained here through the transient nature of this creation. It is created on a transient base. Everything is transient, and we know from our heart that we want permanent satisfaction, not transient satisfaction. That's how we are created. So we need permanent one. Then God says in this world, He may even grant you palaces, yes, but the palaces as human beings require or necessitate, human feelings necessitate. And what my feelings necessitate do not fit within the conditions of this type of creation. That's why God doesn't give. Did I express myself clearly? Yeah, Mrs. Ziba, this is not,
Yes,
this is not dear El El Qarar, Ziba, no. This is not Darul Qarar. Thank you very much. It's in Arabic. This is not Darul Qarar. Yes, Ziba, thank you. It's permanent. I want permanent satisfaction, but this word is not a permanent place. Darul Qarar. The translation is mustaqar. It means permanent, eternal. Yes, I think somebody wanted to say something. Thank you, Ziba, by the way. Yeah, somebody wanted to say something.
No, I think you explained it well. Thank you.
Now, it was clear. Okay.
Yes.
For example, the second one is I'm reading. Imagine yourself amidst of endless gardens, among endless gardens and flowing fountains. Yes. Can such satisfaction in this world ever truly soothe your fear of losing them, knowing that it will all vanish one day, leaving you with nothing, and you will also die? Do you think it will really soothe your fear of losing them? That is, as Ziba said, that is the nature of this creation, transient, based on transient. But human beings desire permanent. That is why God says, I'm not going to give you here transient things and then that's it, you are done. You had it what you wanted. And the prophet didn't want, please, Allah, give me a garden, luxurious, how do you say, very, very big, flourishing, rich garden. So my opponents, these opponents, will be shut up. No, prophet doesn't say that. Doesn't pray this one. And God advises prophet, be patient. Keep delivering the message without asking anything in return. So be honest to the message and deliver it with no fear of their challenging. Continue. Only those who really feel the need to understand the reality of existence, reality of their own existence as human beings, then they will confirm it, educate their feelings, and direct their the requirements of their feelings to their creator God. So, oh God, I need permanent palaces. Yes, I need, but permanent one. I need comfort, but permanent one. Temporary one doesn't satisfy me. I know that. I know that if it is not permanent, I will be suffering from always losing it, because the nature of this creation definitely teaches me that I am going to die and leave everything behind. How can I be satisfied with this? So, fear of losing whatever I have here is always more effective, how do you say, more uh, effective fear of than by loving it. Unfortunately, because of the neglect, because of not paying real attention to our reality, we say, if only I have this, I would be really satisfied. Be careful, you won't. Why? When you have it, don't you feel that you are going to lose it sooner or later, but definitely? When you realize, think about the reality of your existence, you will be so sorry that you asked for a temporary satisfaction. Maybe later, although it is not later in reality, but definite and infinite. Not, why did I say no, although it is not in reality uh, it is not in reality that is really transient if I acknowledge it, because as soon as I acknowledge that my feelings will be satisfied fully, I wouldn't bother anymore. Nothing bothers me. Why? As long as I am aware that my Creator guarantees that as long as I acknowledge and ask Him and acknowledge that only He can give me what I really need, then I will start feeling the pleasure of entertainment of this creation. And I would say, when I will die and get this pleasure. Although my feelings are given to me, or the feeling of not desiring death is given to me, but desiring that I will be able to get away from the fear of transience by acknowledging that my Creator gave me the desire for eternal satisfaction. Since He has given me this, I know it is a reminder for me. It is guaranteed. So when you are, for example, in a very desperate situation, you are left in the desert, for example, and lost. You don't know anything, but you receive a message saying that tomorrow there will be a rescue team and will take you and put you in the best place in the world you want. Don't you start feeling happiness, satisfaction, and you get your really hopeful expectation of your future? Yes, yes, I would say, Ali, be patient for one day, and tomorrow, just tomorrow, you will be rescued. Guaranteed news has arrived to you. You start the feeling of pleasure now, although you are still in the desert. I liken this example, it's a good example I read from somewhere which made sense to me. I'm sharing it with you if I have not shared before. So while I'm in this world, I start experiencing the pleasure of the news that my Creator, or conviction, belief, that conviction, but belief means not wishful, hopeful, or hopeful wish, no, how do they say, wishful thinking, but sure, my Creator definitely is promising me that He will satisfy my feelings. That's why He has given to me. Otherwise, why He would give me this desire, this need, and He's not going to satisfy it? It will be, no, He is not really an honest God, frankly speaking. Giving me the desire and not satisfying it. Are you playing with me? Why did you give it to me? I didn't ask you to give it. You gave me freely. So look at the universe. The creator of the universe cannot be a dishonest creator. Look, everything is so perfectly presented to me. Excuse me. So this is how the pleasure of paradise, eternal happiness, starts here in this world as soon as we acknowledge the reality and confirm it, but not without any basis, without any reason, confirm it based on evidence. We are absolutely, we will be absolutely start experiencing the pleasure of paradise now, as some people narrate that the Prophet was talking about the smell of paradise is coming. So in once even, I mean, this is a detail narrated that he was picking up the fruits from paradise, but he didn't want to consume it here, but practically and psychologically experienced it. So these hadith narrations are interesting to be understood carefully. Now, they are not really imaginary things but every human being can experience this as long as they realize what they are believing in. The problem is with us, with me. Problem is we believe, but we don't realize really what the content of this belief is so precious, so valuable, so real. We don't concentrate on the content of belief. We say, there must be a God. Yeah, that's what we say. Yeah, I believe in God. What does it mean to believe in God? In your psychological word, or they call it spiritual word, what does it mean? Believe in God or not believe in God? Compare it and reflect on it. You will understand that belief in God turns your reality into fully enlightened life. Not believing in God turns your reality into fully dark existence with no meaning. So, which one do you prefer? Consult yourself, your own consciousness, your own feelings. You are prepared for what? Which of them? Make analysis, comparisons, and then understand that belief is nothing but the source of enjoyment, pleasure, appropriate to your nature. It is not really baseless. It is based on your own reality that you are experiencing. Inshallah, we will do that after the class. Reflect on it for a while, inshallah. Inshallah. That's a personal experience. I cannot, or no one can share his personal feelings with others. You cannot describe the feelings. You cannot take a video of your feelings. So everybody has to experience it, like everybody has to be convinced in their belief by questioning, investigating, and making sure whether I am on the right track or not. And then be convinced, inshallah. Okay. 3. And any question, any concern? No, you can always interrupt me, you know that. 3, don't those who cling to this word dread death, really they are frightened to their last drop of blood. When they never mentioned about even the word death. If it was possible, they would take away the word death from their vocabulary dictionary. That's what they are turning blind to death at all. After all, it signals the end of their transient joys and a reckoning they cannot escape. They know that. They know that. They are very much aware of. So that is the third. I think it is clear that the worldly minded people are really afraid of death, although they interpret it in a way. No, that's just to ignore the reality. They interpret it in a way, just say, when we die, we will go into extinction anyway, something like that. But how about your feelings desiring eternity? You cannot interpret it and say, cheat yourself. But that is what their tongue says. Uh, let's talk about death then, reality of death. Why death is in the ingredients of this life. They wouldn't like it. So, 4.
Actually, some of them also accepted, Brother Ali. They say you only live once.
Yeah, they say, yeah. But their human feelings really rebelled at. Rebelled
I'm
at.
I
Yep.
want to also say I hear that phrase all the time. Live it up. You only live once. You have only one life. Um, and I get the impression that people truly believe it. I mean, they're non-believers, but
Yeah.
they truly believe it, that they should just live it up. I don't think they recognize the futility of what they're saying at all.
No. I believe they don't recognize exactly what the content of what they say, what the content of what they say is. They don't. They don't want to acknowledge it. But Feriha asks a nice, makes a nice comment. But no one wants to die. Since you live only once, why bother then struggling with your life? Going every day, at least 8 hours a day. You work at least 8 hours a day. Why do you bother then? Just kill yourself. Unless a psychological, trauma happens, no one wants to die. Psychological traumas are exceptional, and they are special cases for human experiences. Although it's real, but exceptional cases, and those people cannot control their free will anymore because they are under very heavy uh, pressure of meaningless of this life. But those people who say you only live once, yeah, and make your day. I think there's another expression. Try to make your day. So they are doing this, but in fact they don't want to die. If there is any sign, for example, because they reduce themselves to body, if there is any sign that will show any kind of hesitations that it may be a dangerous illness, really they don't wait until tomorrow. They call emergency and also ambulances. Why? Immediate, frightened of death. You just live once, anyways. You will lose at the end. Why bother? No. I don't want to lose my uh, no quality of life. They say quality of life. We have to be careful. Human feelings, answers. Well, really, yes, that would make me speechless too. Excuse me. As some said, as some said. I even heard it from Muslim brother a few weeks ago. Live life to the finest and fullest as much as you can now. It means I was speechless, as some our loud brother says. I was speechless. Yeah. And Anne responded, well, really, yes, that would make me speechless too. Uh, mm, yes, a Muslim, we don't know who he is, and we don't really know what he really meant, really meant. But from the word he expressed as narrated by our friend, whoever he is, doesn't matter, a man, a person. So he is not aware of what he believes. So otherwise, he wouldn't dare say this statement at all. So now the last question for this verse, so that we will understand exactly what the message of this verse is related to our today's life right now. Now, doesn't it make sense why those who reject the prophet's message feel such profound enmity? It challenges the very foundation of their fleeting world, because the prophets remind them this world is transient and you will be taken into account what you have done here. There will be definitely another creation. Shutters down their imaginary world. Really? There will be another creation? I thought, as we have been talking, as we have been talking, I just wanted to enjoy my daily life. So you are saying, no, there will be a day that you will be taken into account. They say day of reckoning. So they don't like to hear this. They don't like to hear the alternative. That is why they want, everybody wants, everybody else should think as he or she thinks. Why? They don't want to be disturbed from their own, whatever they imagine, of their own zone of comfort or comfort zone. They don't want to be disturbed there. So it may be also our attitude as well, as some reminded us. We may not like to hear those people who challenge our belief. Why? Because we want to be comfortable within our comfort zone as far as we are. We claim that we have this belief and affiliation with Islam is the best religion. Of course, no question. Somebody says, really? How about this? How about we don't want to hear it? Because why? We hate it. Why? We don't want to get out of our comfort zone. Why? If somebody is convinced, if someone challenges him, he said, no, there is my evidence here. You can speak. I don't mind, because here is my evidence. One, show me your evidence, as the Qur'an says. Now, hatu burhanekum in kuntum sadiqin. Bring your evidence if you are really, truly saying something reality, real. Come on, bring it. I'm ready to challenge you. But because we are not, we don't feel confidence, we are not sure in our choice, we just follow our culture. I'm a Muslim. I was born in a Muslim. Christian says I was born in a Christian family. That's why they don't like Muslims among Christians. Why? Because they are not sure. If a Muslim community doesn't like other people who follow other religious tradition or belief traditions, and if we feel uncomfortable, which means there is something wrong in my security. But for one reason, I understand that we have to take precautions. What is that? innocent children without knowing what reality is, if they are exposed to negative ideas, they don't have any reason who they are, what they are doing in this world. So they may be under the influence of this kind of propaganda. They wouldn't know they are false propaganda. For this reason, I understand I must keep my innocent children from the influence of the negative ideas as far as I understand. But of course, I have to support my children by providing the necessary information to prepare them according to their capacity, their age level, whatever, what they need according to their age level. I have to gradually educate them, prepare them. But after they reach their age of maturity, nowadays it is getting later and later now, and then they have to learn how to stand on their own feet rather than confining themselves to a Muslim community and then saying, this is my comfort zone. Only these Muslim communities or, having some believers have their own communities, in my understanding, can be justifiable as far as the concern of the education tedricen stages, step by step. I couldn't remember the word. Gradual education, preparing them for life. Now, that is justifiable, but we ourselves must feel confident. If we don't, there is a problem with me, not with the ones who are challenging my belief. Of course, God created everybody free so that they will challenge me. Now, I think that is what I have got about this verse to share with you. I will go forward to the next verse if you don't have anything to say. Seems to be so. Okay. Now Quran discloses their reality. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Euzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. Bel kezzebu bis saati ve a'tedna limen kezzebe bis saati sa'ira. Now God is clearly stating what the reality is. It is actually the coming of the hour that they reject. Look. Look at the trick that the rejectors are playing. They attack the prophet, but that is not reality. That is not the reality. We have to be careful. They criticize prophet did this, prophet that, reading the narration out of context and not taking it is context, historical context and reality of the life standards that time. They attack the prophet. God's response is, the prophet, don't worry. Their fear is not you. No. The news that I am giving to them, the time for death of everything. Nothing can escape death in this world. An atom cannot escape from death. A plant cannot. Animals, human beings, definitely. So stars, galaxies, and the whole universe cannot escape from a sa'a. The moment the decision is executed. A sa'a. We understand sa'a as Yawm al-Qiyamah. It means that's translated as strange translation. doomsday, not doomsday, the day of ending this creation and starting another creation according to the promises of the creator. As-sa'a, for example, mate, I think the expression, if I am wrong, who has Arabic here? Esamaha ziba, correct me. Mate fi saati, is that an expression? Unexpectedly, it means this. Unexpectedly, right that moment, the person died unexpectedly, immediately that time, with no reason. How do you say it? Mate fi saati?
Will say ساعته. Will say ساعته.
Saatu.
يعني خد ساعته وعدى مات.
Mate, but sa'a, the word sa'a is used. Hour. Hour doesn't mean definitely one part of 24 hours of day. No. Hour, as sa'a, which is translated as sa'a, doesn't mean only the end of the world. No. End of every being who is created in this transient world.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. بل كذبوا بالساعة وأعتدنا لمن كذب بالساعة سعيرا. It is actually the coming of the hour that they reject. We have prepared a blazing fire for those who reject the hour. Now, but blazing fire for only those who reject the hour. But they, in fact, attack the prophet, try to criticize them. I mean, out of ignorance, they seemingly criticize the prophet did this. It doesn't make sense now. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, of course, now. But think about it within its own historical context and conditions, how perfect action that was. So bring it into your life right now and see how it is applicable and adaptable to our living conditions. Take it as a pattern. For example, if someone gives, as an example, $1 of to charity out of his pocket, but this man has only $100. Now, a person who is millionaire, if he gives $1 to charity, it will be something really a shameful thing for him. He wouldn't be able to do that. And if this man stands up saying this, look at this prophet who gave $1 to charity and he will be my guide in life. Come on, ridiculous. I can give $100,000. Do you think this man is speaking rightly or the truth? Look, the prophet gave 1% of his $100. You should give 1% of your $1 million at least. That is how we should transfer the prophet's life into our living conditions and then justify it. For example, the prophet abolished slavery from the very beginning, declaring that every creature being is ibadullah, no slave. Everybody is ibadullah, Allah's property. The owner of every human being is Allah. Declared slavery is abolished. But it took gradual practice in an economy totally based on slave economy. Now, because only in Islamic society, slavery is really disappeared, almost disappeared, almost. Some stupid people still, kings, sultans, practice it. They are just personal practices, is not really legitimate according to Islamic rulings, but they made up some excuses because in the life of the Prophet, we see that practically, gradually disappearing of slavery system practically took some remnants of it at the certain stages of his life. Look at here, the Prophet was talking about deal your slaves in this way. It means in Islam, slavery is accepted, legitimate. Look, Prophet is advising how to treat with slaves. This is just a dishonest interpretation of the reality. So, I will read and let me complete this subject. So, at the end, practically, slavery disappeared in Muslim society as a legitimate institution. So, they say, look, the Prophet tried to, how do you say, abolish the practice of slavery, but it took us a long time. They don't think. When did it take place? 1,450 years ago. Look at the world that time. Can they find even a small society which wasn't practicing slavery? Whole world. And until the 19th century, the world heavily experienced slavery system continuing except in the Muslim world. What does it mean? It is an unimaginable success that the Prophet performed in his life. And accusing him, Islam really didn't abolish or finished the slavery. And this man's civilization experienced the slavery until a couple of centuries ago. They are ashamed of, they should be ashamed of their history, now accusing the Prophet's practice of this kind of things. The accusation directed to the Prophet is a false accusation, as this verse says. The real fear that they are really disturbed with the news of the message or the message of the prophets is the hour. It means every moment their life is falling into disappearance according to them, not in fact, but according to them. They are losing. As they gain, they lose. As they gain, they lose. That is the reality of hour. Every day has an hour. Every hour in our daily calendar has an hour. That is our reality. So they don't want to hear this. But if you deny your reality, then the Quran says we have prepared a blazing fire for you who reject the hour. It's beautiful argument. We have to know the weak point that the disbelievers are really afraid of, scared, the reality of transience of their life. We have to remind them in a kind way. Look, you want happiness, don't you? You want to enjoy your life, but you want eternal one. Now, who can give it to you? Can you explain? Can you find any explanation how you had this desire for eternal happiness? Think about your reality, rather than saying that we Muslims believe in this. You don't. No, that argument is pointless. Debates are pointless. Then the Quran prohibits debates anyways. If they reject you, speak to them kindly and come up with them with a kind word. No, kinder word. Be respectful. Who criticize your religion, who criticize your belief system, respectfully reject them, but respectfully, kindly. Don't challenge. Unfortunately, some people love it, because of, to me, it is a long discussion. It needs a long explanation. Inferiority complex, not feeling secure in their belief. They want challenge. No, Quran prohibits it, and it is very human. Now, I have to go back to Anne's comment. Brother Ali, I may need to leave. Oh, all right. So I thought it was a comment. So I want to say, excuse me, and thank you as always. Thank you for letting us know that you are kindly and necessarily leaving. You had to. All right. Now, do we see, let me see the time. Oh, do we see why unbelievers focus on discrediting the Prophet rather than engaging with his message? Do you understand now? It's very clear to me. Their attacks reveal a fear of the news of the hereafter, which they have been escaping, trying to know it, turning blind to their reality. I think it is clear. I think it is clear. If someone says no, I can ask him why, which way you didn't. But it is clear, I think. That's my feeling. If I am wrong, please remind me. The second one is the claim, believe in God, yet reject the core implication. But this is very important, which is accountability. Their superficial faith highlights a desperate attempt to avoid confronting the truth. We have the last one, although time is just up now, the last point that I want to share with you, that the Muslims declare this, and I think this is in our reality now. We have to know at this point, we say, I don't mind dying because I believe in the hereafter. Well, inshallah, I agree. I don't have any reason to say no. If you say so, I will accept it. Okay. But because of my sins, are you sure that it is not an excuse to say it exactly why you are afraid of death? Losing your property, losing your comfort zone here. I am a Muslim, alhamdulillah. If you are sure about the hereafter, and if you are sure that the hereafter is going to be realized by the one who created this universe permanently, then this creator tells you, correct yourself, put on the right track, ask for forgiveness for your previous sins, Go ahead. I will come with you and forgive you. Why are you making an excuse of, because of my sins, I'm afraid of death? Take care of it right now. Ask for forgiveness. He guarantees the forgiveness if you sincerely ask for forgiveness and not return back to your mistakes and sins again. Tawbah means this. Tabe yatubu means this. Ve yatubu aleyh. And those people who turn back to their God and put them right on the right track. And then don't make an excuse that I am not afraid of this but. No but. A believer, by definition, if they are sure in their belief, they should not have any fear of death at all. But not having the fear of death doesn't mean that I wouldn't protect my life. No, don't misunderstand. That is my responsibility to take care of my life. But God created me with my reality that I am going to die in order to teach me that transient world doesn't befit your nature, your reality, the way I created. So search for eternal life. You will find out that I am the one who promising the eternal life to you, who created you with this feeling. So you will trust me, but don't deny your reality. I created you on a transient base, but gave you the responsibility to keep your life as healthy as long as possible in a healthy way. That's your responsibility. Don't kill yourself as a result of negligence of your health. So it will be a challenging. Yeah, God, you can kill me, you can give me death. I don't mind. No, I have a feeling not to die. So that is a promise from God that you have to experience, you have to practice feeling. That is what we have to do. We have to try to do our best to keep our healthy life, but at the same time, we have to look for every evidence to make sure we believe in the hereafter. Definitely, God will take care of all our expectations. So don't have fear of death, but don't put yourself in a danger of death. That is the balance we have to follow in this world. So the last message of this verse discloses the reality of objectors of the prophets. Know that their problem is not with the prophet. Their problem is the news of the coming of reality of our as reality of our. That is what they are afraid of. We have to understand this and benefit from it and educate ourselves, prepare ourselves, inshallah, to establish a sure belief in the hereafter, secure belief in the hereafter, that it must be created. That is the reality of the existence of this universe demonstrates to me. Inshallah. Shall we stop here? Inshallah we should. It's time now. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alamin. بحرمة سر سورة الفاتحة